Hey folks, good morning. James Azar here with the CyberHub Podcast for your daily Practitioner Brief. It is October 8th, end of the week, our last Practitioner Brief for this week before we get into next week. Slowly recovering from COVID. I'll try to go a little bit slower. Before we get started though, make sure you do subscribe to our podcast. You can do that right now if you're watching us on YouTube by just clicking the subscribe button for our channel, and then make sure you turn on the bell notification to get an alert for our podcast every time we publish one. Later today, I've got a great podcast with my friend over Kurt John, CSO over at Siemens. So you want to tune in. Don't miss that episode. It's a great CISO Talk episode. So if you haven't subscribed to our CISO Talk podcast, do so right now as well. And without further ado, let's get into today's Practitioner Brief, where Google's latest version, Chrome 86, is now being rolled out with 35 different security fixes. Excuse me, folks. Including a critical bug and a feature that checks if users have any compromised passwords. The Chrome 86 is being promoted to the stable channels for Windows, Mac, and Linux, and will roll out over the next coming days. The versions of the browser for Android and iOS were released on Tuesday of this week and will be available on the Google Play and App Store as well for updates. Included in the newest browser version is a critical flaw, CVE 2020-159-67, existing in Chrome's payment component. The flaw, reported by Manu Mo of GitHub Security Lab, is a use after free vulnerability. Use after free is a memory corruption flaw where an attempt is made to access memory after it has been freed. This can cause an array of malicious impacts, from causing a program to crash to potentially leading to the execution of arbitrary code. Again, updating your browsers is critical. There's also a few issues with passwords and the password checkup Chrome extension on Chrome. So another thing to be mindful of. So something to just keep your eyes out on as well. So we'll stick with Google and talk a little bit about a high-severity Android system flaw. Google has released patches addressing the high-severity flaw in the system component. The flaw, which could be remotely exploited to gain access to additional permissions within an Android operating system. Overall, 50 flaws were patched as part of Google's October security update for the Android operating system, which was released on Monday. As part of this, Qualcomm, whose chips are used in Android devices, patched a mix of high and critical severity vulnerabilities tied to 22 different CVEs. 2 elevation of privileges issues, the most serious of the flaws, exist in the Android system component, the core of the operating system that's on the Android phones. These are 2 vulnerabilities, CVE 2020-0215 and 0416, that can be exploited remotely by an attacker using a specific, especially crafted transmission. So keep your eyes out for that. Google also fixed 5 high-severity flaws in the framework component, which is a set of APIs that allow developers to quickly and easily write apps for Android phones. Finally, Google also rolled out patches for flaws in various third-party components in its Android ecosystem. One flaw, CVE 2020-0423, exists in the kernel, which could enable a local attacker using a specially crafted file to execute arbitrary code. All of these have been patched in the newest version of Android. And our final story for today is a Fileless malware has been injected in Windows error reporting services. Malwarebytes researchers have spotted a fresh attack tactic that involves threat actors directly injecting Fileless malware into the Windows error reporting service as a defense evasion mechanism. The approach may be the handiwork of an advanced persistent threat group known as APT32 or Ocean Lotus, which has ties to Vietnam. The domain used to host some of the data is registered to Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam, says Hussein Jazi at Malwarebytes. The document says it is encrypted and requests that the victims enable editing. When this is done, the victim is taken to a website where the Fileless malware is loaded into the Windows error reporting system. The attackers used a Windows error reporting service because that makes the attack more difficult to detect. According to Malwarebytes, the WERFault, WERFault.exe, is the process, is the command that's being used, and it is possible to even forward the crash report to Microsoft. The researchers also noted a new set of a very interesting attack. That's it for our practitioner brief here today, folks. Thanks so much for listening and tuning in. Don't miss today's CISO talk. You can get all of this information on our website at cyberhubpodcast.com. Until Monday, folks, enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy your weekend. And most importantly, stay cyber safe.